Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now in the previous video we discussed about the motivation of the customer psychology or the consumer psychology. Now once the perception is underway and the individual has identified the motivation of itself and where the particular need according to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs stands, that is when the perception comes in, right? Now what is perception? Perception is basically how an individual collects the information, organizes it, and finally comes to a conclusion about a particular brand, product, or service, right? Now, an individual is already motivated to act upon a certain stimuli, and how he perceives the particular brand or product determines the particular consumer's actions. So, if they perceive that particular to be fulfilling their need, they will go for a purchase. If they don't feel that that particular product or service is fulfilling the need, they might skip it, right? Now the most important factor in creating a brand perception is the five senses of an individual. This is completely known as a separate section known as the sensory marketing. Now, what is sensory marketing? Now, under sensory marketing, brands utilize the five main senses of an individual: your sound, basically hearing, right? Seeing, smell, tasting, and the touch and feel of the product. So they utilize these five things, five components, and create the perception of the particular brand, product, or service, right? Now brands might use one or even more sensory stimulus to create the brand perception, and it's not necessary that they only use one. So in most cases multiple sensory channels are utilized through multiple marketing channels, right? Now we're going to discuss about why are we discussing about this, because it is very important to know that by even the figures, right? So more than 80% of the people perceive a particular brand to be positive if they have some kind of real-time experience of that particular brand or product. So that is the time they say that they are more likely to purchase about it, right? Now 8 out of 10 people say that if their overall purchase journey was very positive with a particular brand, they are likely to tell it to others, and that's how they become the voice of the particular brand, right? 9 out of 10 people say that testing a particular product is the best way to experience the brand. That's how they feel, right? So all these numbers say for themselves, right? Now let's start with the first one. The first one that we're going to discuss is the smell. Now smell is very important. A human body can register up to more than 10,000 different kind of smells, different kind of scents, and register them with a particular memory. Now this is very important for the brands because they consider smell to be the most important factor for perception, followed by sight, right? Many brands, not just the FMCG brands, but even clothing brands like Abercrombie Fitch, Hugo Boss, like almost every brand has a certain smell or certain scent that is there in their particular store that is associated with the particular brand, and when the customers enter that store, they want that smell to be associated with the brand wherever they travel in the world and they visit that particular store. That's how important it is. Brands like Starbucks, so when you cross them or you enter them, you feel the scent that you will smell is that of coffee. Cinnamon is another, so when you go cross cinnamon, right? So the freshly baked cinnamon rolls, that scent will come to your mind, and that definitely induces that thing. So let alone that, so if you go to buy a new car, the scent of fresh leather seats, the whole cabin and everything, that induces the sense of then something new and fresh and something aspirational that you might want to buy. And many brands do this, right? They you humidify that scent inside the cabin so that you get that feel and you get that aspiration. So scent becomes very big moving factor. Hotels do this. So hotels use a certain scent so that you have a very calm and relaxing stay there, and that scent is associated with a particular brand. That is why people become brand specific over their whole journey of buying and purchasing throughout their life. You will find people very specific about particular brands because their experience with that brand and association with that brand is so strong, right? That's how smell and other sensory factors work. Right now, the next one that we'll touch upon is hearing. Now, hearing is very important. Throughout your life, you have registered so many sounds, and you associate those sounds with the particular brands. If the biggest example can be the ringtones from Nokia and Apple, or the crunch from uh, Kellogg cereals, the advertisements, the fizz and that the Coca-Cola pouring on the ice in their iconic Coca-Cola glass. That smell of pouring. So that sound of Coca-Cola pouring in the glass. Then the iconic sound of Harley Davidson bikes, right? So all these are part of sound, and that's how the sound gets registered and gets associated. Earlier times, people used to use radios, so you had particular jingles of the particular brand. Those jingles were associated with the brand whenever you used to hear them, right? So that's how companies leverage sound, right? Now, apart from sound, the next one is seeing. Now, seeing is again very important. So like 83% of the information that an individual captures is from sight, right? So if you go to a mall and you see all the brand windows, visual merchandising is actually for the eyes of the customers, right? How the window is presented for a particular brand creates aspirations in the mind of the customer, and that's how it leads them into the store, finally converting, right? So seeing is very important. It's not just about how a particular window is seen, but it's about how a particular brand is seen, right? Brand logos, the colors of the particular brand, their catchy phrases. So all these are part of it. So let's say if I say Coca-Cola, what comes in your mind? The iconic Coca-Cola logo, right? Then what colors come to your mind? White and red, right? So this is how powerful sensory is. It's a very interesting fact for Coca-Cola, in fact. So before 1950s, Santa Claus was actually depicted in green color clothes, right? But after Coca-Cola started advertising Santa Claus on Christmas events or advertisement campaigns in red, since then we associate Santa Claus even with red and white color. This is how powerful a brand can be in the market, right? Or if I take an example, in India, Lay's, the chips, right? If you ask someone what is your favorite flavor of Lay's, they won't say the flavor. They'll say blue color, yellow color, green color is my favorite. So see how they remember the logo of Lay's, but then they remember the color of the packaging, right? So for me, it's like, oh wait, I have it actually. So it's like this. So blue Lay's. It's not magic masala and all. No, it's blue Lay's for me. Okay. Similarly, it's green Lay's for someone, yellow for someone. That's how powerful the sight is, right? So this is actually an example of a product. Similarly, if I say Converse sneakers, right? There's a brand image, there's a product image. Oreo biscuits, right? The iconic Coca-Cola glass bottle, again, right? So the French fries of McDonald's, so that cup in which they serve the fries, right? So all these are very iconic products that are registered in your mind because of the sight you're seeing. Now taste is triggered basically through various methods. the first one when you associate with taste is basically your favorite dishes, your favorite flavors that come into your mind. It can be from a particular brand, it can be from a particular dish from a particular restaurant, but taste is something that you have registered, and it is very subjective. What you like, the person next to you might not like, right? So very interesting sensory uh, organ or sensory part, right? So that's taste. Now many brands utilize this and provide samples for tasting, just to create a particular trial for the customer, so that it can lead to purchase. But there are, throughout your life, there are particular tastes that have been registered in your mind, and you prefer those brands because of those tastes, right? For example, some like Coca-Cola, but some like Pepsi. Some prefer McDonald's, some prefer Burger King, some prefer Pizza Hut, some prefer Domino's. And it's not about how they look, it's about how they taste, right? So that's how you become brand loyal, because of the taste. And yeah, that's such an important factor, right? Now the last one is touch. Now touch is basically the touch and feel of the product, the haptics, and how you basically feel when the product is in your hand before purchasing. Now this usually is very important when you are buying maybe a new car, and clothes. So luxury clothes or clothing is another very important factor, because it's advisable, like you always prefer to try it before buying, right? So how is the touch and feel of that particular cloth on your body? That's important. Technological brands like mobile brands like Apple, so they design their store in such a way that they provide the experiential factor to the customer, where they can experience their mobiles, tablets, and look at the product, have a good touch and feel of the product, hold the product in their hand, and finally make the purchase decision, right? So touch and feel are always important, and as I said, more than 82% of the people say that they can be converted if they find the product to be good in touch and feel. The iconic Coca-Cola glass bottle, if I place that bottle in a dark room and you touch it, you will, just through your memory, you will be able to the first thing that come to your mind is this glass bottle is from Coca-Cola, right? So that's the memory that is instilled in your mind for the particular brand and the particular product, right? So these 5 pillars of sensory marketing are the most important. People use them, like brands can use all 5 or either 4 or 3 of them, depending upon their brand strategy, and finally create a perception of the particular brand in your mind. Now listening to this is very easy. I've given you very iconic examples that you can relate to, but think about yourself, think about the brands that you use daily, look at them, and you will realize that there is always some kind of memory or association with that particular brand that you have. That's why you always choose them, right? So that's how powerful sensory marketing is. That's how powerful perception as a concept is, right? Perceiving a brand to be good or bad is all it takes for you to give your money and buy that particular product, even in reality, whatever that product may be. So in retail, perception becomes much more important than reality, right? So this was the second part of consumer psychology. First was motivation, this was psychology, this was perception. There's one more topic in perception which we will discuss in next video, and obviously after that we have learning, and there is one more topic. We'll definitely discuss all those. But I hope you like the video. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, please take care of yourself, be safe, and yeah, happy learning. Bye.